Hi, I'm David Barry from the National Post. Now, you've probably just finished enjoying the exploits of Lucious and the rest of the gang at Empire Records, but what you might not know is that though they get up to some pretty ridiculous things, real-life record executives can be just as ridiculous as that fictional show. So today I'm going to tell you about 3 of the craziest record executives who have ever existed. So first up is Walter Yetnikoff. He was the head of CBS Records from 1975 to 1990. Now, he was one of the first record executives to come solely from the business world. He was actually tone deaf, but he made up for not actually being a musician by partying like a rock star. In his autobiography, Howling at the Moon, he details stories like waking up and enjoying half a bottle of vodka before 9 in the morning. He used to get shaved and have his barber actually stuff cocaine up his nose for him while he was sitting there motionless. And perhaps most famously, he tried to sell CBS Records to Sony in the late 80s, and he was so notorious for partying that they actually had to lock him in his hotel when he went to Tokyo for fear that he might go out and do something that would wreck the deal. Next up is Suge Knight, who's probably the most obvious influence on Lucious and the gang. He got into the news earlier this year when he got arrested for a hit and run in LA. And as terrible as that is, though, that's probably not even the craziest thing he's done. He got his start in the industry as a bodyguard, and he took a bit of that rough and tumbleness to running a label, Death Row Records. So on his way up to running Death Row, he did things like supposedly dangle Vanilla Ice off a balcony to try to get some of the royalties from Ice Ice Baby. He definitely threatened Eazy-E to get Dr. Dre out of his contract with NWA. And he also started that big East Coast West Coast feud that took over rap in the mid-90s. In fact, it was implied for a really long time that he might have been involved in the deaths of both Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G., although things have changed, he probably wasn't, but Snoop Dogg at least maintains that he had something to do with it. Now, as impressive as Mr. Knight's rap sheet is, he's still kind of a pale imitator compared to Don Arden, who was known as the Al Capone of pop music. Arden actually got his start, oddly enough, as like a comedian impersonator and then a guy who organized get-togethers of Jewish folk songs, but he really took off from there. It sort of all started when he signed the band The Small Faces, who were an English pop group, a lot of fun. He got them their first big hit by chart fixing, which is when you just pay a bunch of people to go buy the album for you. Once they were a success, things got even crazier. Someone tried to take the band away from him, and he went and definitely hung him out over a balcony. He was constantly threatening to throw people outside of windows or beat them up or what have you. He was rumored to travel with a couple big old guards. Some of the really crazy stuff came later on, though, when he started to manage Black Sabbath. His daughter Sharon took a bit of a shine to Ozzy, and then they got married. She's Sharon Osbourne. She also took over managing Ozzy, which is something Don wasn't too happy about. They pretty much did not speak for 20 years after this fact. There were rumors that he sicked his dogs on his own daughter, and they definitely had no contact with any of the kids. They did sort of reconcile by the end, but it's not everyone who ruins their entire family over one singer. So maybe the lesson here is that even when fictional record executives do something like kill somebody, real record executives have almost been there.